Say no to Wimpy Radio. Say yes to this podcast.
Greetings, red-blooded, verified Earth people, and those with no check mark. It's me, the always dapper podcast chatter, the joy boy with the joy toy, the daddy-o on the radio. It is me, Zack the Wack.
Come on, it's time to get up. Come on, sleeping beauty, wake up. You gotta get up, you gotta get up, you gotta get up this morning.
Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning. Oh, how I'd love to remain in bed. For the hardest blow of all is to hear the bugler call. You gotta get up, you gotta get up, you gotta get up this morning. Someday I'm going to murder the bugler. Someday they're going to find him dead. I'll amputate his reveille and step upon it heavily and spend the rest of my life in bed.
Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning. Oh, how I love to remain in bed. For the hardest blow of all is to hear the bugler call. You gotta get up, you gotta get up, you gotta get up this morning. Someday I'm going to murder the bugler. Someday you're going to find him dead.
And then I'll get that other pup, the guy who wakes the bugler up,
and spend the rest of my life in bed.
Monday sucks. Monday sucks. It's Monday. It's Monday. ZackDaWack.com.
Good morning, fellow wackadoodles. Welcome to the one and only no baloney, extra large and turbocharged DaWack in the morning show, podcasting live from the Nut Hut studio at a nondescript location somewhere in the USA. Happy Monday. Yeah. Today is Monday, August the 19th, 2024. And let's check out the birthday list. Brighton Sharbino, actress who starred as Lizzie Samuels on the hit AMC series The Walking Dead. In 2014, she appeared in season 1 of the HBO original crime series True Detective as Marcy Hart and appeared as a young Ingrid on ABC's Once Upon a Time. She's 22.
Happy birthday!
Rapper Little Romeo is 35. Manny Jacinto, he had small parts in Top Gun Maverick and Bad Time at the El Royale, and also played the Stranger/Chimere in Star Wars The Acolyte. He's 37. Pop singer Christina Perri is 38. Melissa Fumero, she's Adrienne Kramer on One Life to Live, and Amy Santiago on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She's 42. Ethan Kutkowski portrays Carl Gallagher on the American version of the hit Showtime series Shameless. He's also well known for film roles in Fred Claus and The Unborn. He's 45. Former MTV reporter Tabitha Soren is 57. Leanne Womack is 58. Kevin Dillon from Entourage is 59. Kira Sedgwick from The Closer, married to Kevin Bacon, she's 59. John Stamos, you know him from Full House and General Hospital, he's 61. Former MLB pitcher from the Mets and A's and current New York Mets broadcaster Ron Darling is 64. Peter Gallagher from The OC and American Beauty and Mr. Deeds, he's 69. Bassist John Deacon of Queen is 72. Jonathan Frakes from Star Trek The Next Generation and its movies is 72 as well.
Eternity never looked so lovely.
Gerald McRaney from Simon & Simon and Major Dad is 77. Former President Bill Clinton is 78.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Deep Purple lead singer Ian Gillan is born in Chiswick, London, England. He's 79. And Roger Cook, co-lead vocalist of Blue Mink, is born in Fish Ponds, Bristol, Gloucester, England. He's 84 years young today. And here's a few people born on this day no longer with us. Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry would have had a birthday today. Matthew Perry, also born on this day. And French designer Coco Chanel. And here's a few people that passed away on this day. Movie actor Groucho Marx, he passed in 1977. Entrepreneur Otto Frank passed in 1980. And former music mogul Lou Pearlman, creator of NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys, died at age 62 while serving a 25-year sentence at the Federal Correctional Institution in Texarkana, Texas. In 2008, he was convicted of conspiracy and money laundering related to a massive Ponzi scheme. He passed in 2016. TV actor Lee Thompson Young passed away in 2013. And the Emmy Award-winning actor best known for playing William Hill on This Is Us, Ron Cephas Jones, passed away in 2022 at the age of 66. And in 2001, Betty Everett, the first to have a hit with the Shoop Shoop song, dies at age 61.
Does he love me? I wanna know.
Those are just some of the famous Ians that passed away on this day. Movies released on this day in 1959, It Started With a Kiss. Enter the Dragon in 1973. Mr. Mom was released in 1983. 40-Year-Old Virgin and Red Eye came out in 2005.
So you actually wrote that one girl looked like she was hurting for a squirtin'?
The Pledge and Conan the Barbarian in 2011. And War Dogs and Ben-Hur released in 2016.
It happened on this day as if you care.
And this day in history, in the year 64, Circus Maximus in Rome catches fire. In 1692, 5 more people are hanged for witchcraft, making 19 in all in Salem, Massachusetts. In 1860, the first railroad reaches Kansas. In 1863, it's the Battle of Buffington's Island, St. George Creek in Ohio. In 1870, France declares war on Prussia as the Franco-Prussian War begins. In 1875, Emma Abbott, a floating hospital for sick children, makes a trial trip to New York City. In 1877, it's the first of Wimbledon's men's tennis match. The 27-year-old English rackets player Spencer Gore wins the inaugural event, beating William Marshall 6-1, 6-2, and 6-4. In 1909, Cleveland shortstops Neil Ball completes the first modern MLB unassisted triple play in the Indians' 6-1 win over the Boston Red Sox. In 1912, a meteorite estimated at over 400 pounds mass explodes over Holbrook in Navajo County, Arizona, causing approximately 16,000 pieces of debris to rain down on the town. In 1913, Billboard publishes their earliest known chart, last week's 10 best sellers among popular songs. Number 1 is Melinda's Wedding Day by singers Byron Harlan and Arthur Collins, recorded in Camden, New Jersey. In 1914, the Boston Braves begin the drive from last place to the NL pennant with a 3-2 win against the second-placed Cincinnati Reds. And in 1915, the Washington Senators set an MLB record, 8 stolen bases in 1 inning in an 11-4 win versus Cleveland. In 1957, the first rocket with a nuclear warhead was fired from Yucca Flat, Nevada. In 1961, the first in-flight movie was shown on a TWA flight. In 1967, the first air-conditioned New York City subway car, an R-38, rolled out on the F line. In 1976, President Gerald Ford won the Republican presidential nomination at the party's national convention in Kansas City. In 1978, the New York Yankees start a historic 14-game comeback with a 2-0 win over the Minnesota Twins at Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota. In 1984, Lynn Ripplemeyer becomes the first female captain to pilot a 747 across the Atlantic. In 1987, New York Yankees' Don Mattingly sets an AL record for extra base hits in 10 consecutive games. In 1990, Cincinnati Reds' Pete Rose is sentenced to 5 months for tax evasion. Also in 1990, Dave Righetti pitches his 499th game as a New York Yankee, passing Whitey Ford in most appearances as a New York Yankee. And in 1991, Cal Ripken plays his 1,500th consecutive game. And also in 1991, with a New York Yankees victory, 10 of 14 AL teams are at a 500 or better record. And in 1994, saw the first game ever canceled at the Seattle Kingdom due to falling tiles. And in 1996, the Summer Olympic Games open up here in Atlanta, Georgia. And in 1996, Miss Universe Alicia Machado of Venezuela was told to lose 27 pounds or lose her crown. In 2004, internet search engine Google goes public. And in 2005, Jim Peterson and his deckhand were tuna fishing off the Oregon coast when the transmission seized up on their 38-foot, 60-year-old wooden trawler. Peterson was able to get the boat running again, but only in reverse. The pair could have radioed the Coast Guard for a tow, but decided instead to head for Port Bassackward. With their top speed of 7 knots cut in half, the Wrong Way duo, sleeping on and off, made the trip back to land in 39 hours. In 2006, a team of Australian scientists launched a multi-million-dollar project to fight global warming through a reduction of bovine flatulence. The goal was to breed cows that produce more milk with less methane excretion. In 2018, the Airbus Beluga XL, painted to look like a whale, makes its inaugural flight, landing in Toulouse, Blagnac, France. In 2019, the largest wind farm in Africa opens up at Lake Turkana, Kenya, generating 310 megawatts. In 2020, Apple becomes the first U.S. company to be valued at $2 trillion, just 2 years after it reached a $1 trillion valuation. In 2022, temperatures exceed 40 degrees Celsius, that's around 104 Fahrenheit, in parts of England for the first time ever. In 2022, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck wed yet again. 1 month after their surprise Las Vegas nuptials, the couple held a full weekend bash at the actor's estate in Riceboro, Georgia. In 2023, scientists discover metals can self-heal after observing metals cracking and fusing back together, paving way for future self-healing structures and vehicles. Special events for today. It is Patient Advocacy Day. It is Orangutan Day. And it's Misa Talk Like Jar Jar Binks Day.
Oh, muy, I love you.
It's Aviation Day. It's National Potato Day. It's Stay at Home with Your Kids Day. It's Sandcastle and Sculpture Day. It is World Humanitarian Day. It is World Photography Day. It is Discovery Day. It is International Bow Tie Day. And I think the most important one here, it is Soft Ice Cream Day.
Carvel ice cream. Carvel ice cream.
Love me some Carvel. All right, let's take a look at some music history here. In 1911, Variety calls Irving Berlin's Alexander's Ragtime Band the song sensation of the century. And then in 1918, Irving Berlin, still a sergeant in the U.S. Army, debuts his World War I themed musical Yip Yip Yap Hank at New York's Century Theater. In 1957, Debbie Reynolds' Tammy hits #1 for the first of 5 weeks. And in 1967, the Beatles' All You Need Is Love hits #1, where it stays for just 1 week. In 1969, cleanup begins at Max Yasgur's farm in Bethel, New York, where the Woodstock Festival had just finished up. Bulldozers are used to wrangle the trash into a pit where it is burned. In 1977, a year after her group LaBelle calls it quits, Patti LaBelle releases her self-titled debut album, introducing one of her signature songs, You Are My Friend. In 1981, Chris Lowe and Neil Tennant meet at an electronics shop in London and start talking synthesizers. They then form the Pet Shop Boys, and 5 years later land their first hit with West End Girls.
The Eastern Boys and Western Girls.
In 1983, having been sporadic since it was originally shut down in 1968, pirate radio station Radio Caroline makes its comeback on board the ship Ross Revenge in the North Sea's international waters.
319 Radio Caroline.
And 6 years to the day later, it would shut down once again. And in 1988, Elvis Presley's Hound Dog is named the most played song in the first 100 of the jukebox.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, you're crying all the time.
In 1989, Lou Reed breaks his ankle after a sound check in Cleveland and is forced to cancel the remainder of his tour. In 1990, Leonard Bernstein conducts his final concert, playing Benjamin Britten's 4C Interludes and Beethoven's 7th Symphony with the Boston Symphony at Tanglewood in Massachusetts. In 1991, at CNE Stadium in Toronto, on the last date of the Operation Rock and Roll Tour, Judas Priest lead singer Rob Halford's motorcycle entrance goes horribly wrong and he hits a metal beam, breaking his nose and spraining his neck. He completes the show and is taken to a hospital immediately afterward. In 2006, Drake makes his professional debut with a 30-minute set at the Cool House in Toronto, opening for Ice Cube. It earns him $100. Not sure if that's Canadian or U.S. In 2008, Dave Matthews Band's saxophonist and arranger Leroy Moore dies at age 46 after being injured in an ATV accident in Charlottesville, Virginia. And in 2013, the phrase bro country appears for the first time, used by Jody Rosen in a New York Magazine story to describe the Florida Georgia Line song Cruise. Rosen crowns Luke Bryan king of the genre, which he describes as music by and of the tatted, gym-toned, party-hardy young American white dude.
Baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise.
All right, let's check out the news. Over the last year, over half of Americans had to skip some sort of recreational activity because they couldn't afford it. Yeah, that's the real reason I haven't taken up bullfighting. A woman in Florida found an alligator swimming in her pool. Yeah, that's dangerous. There was no lifeguard on duty. According to a survey, it's not uncommon for Americans to wear underwear for several days without changing. I beg to differ. If underwear is worn several days, you can bet that it's going to undergo some changes. A study found that female runners are better at setting a successful pace, but for some reason in Hollywood movies, they make women trip and fall when the monster starts chasing them. In a survey of restaurant managers, 3/4 say going up to an all-you-can-eat buffet more than 3 times is not right. So I guess pitching a tent over my table and laying out a sleeping bag is off limits? Huh? A study found that you don't need to drink 8 glasses of water a day. Maybe not, but it did help me meet my exercise quota just walking back and forth from the bathroom. Now, if you're trying to cut back on caffeine, researchers say the best way is to cut down a little bit each day, or quit cold turkey and take up smoking. A study suggests vodka produces less of a hangover than whiskey. A reminder for when you're trying to pick out a birthday gift for your kid's teacher. A study found that taking naps reduces the chances of heart problems. You don't have to go to bed. Any comfortable chair will do. For example, in any theater showing a foreign movie. Researchers say that people with a low IQ are more likely to be prejudiced. It's not that they have a low IQ. It's just that sometimes when a guy's taking an intelligence test, that damned hooded sheet is always getting in the way. A study found that the world's need to do twice as much as it's doing to stop global warming. Twice as much, so that would be 2 times 0. A survey finds that it's about the 3rd year of a marriage that a partner's idiosyncrasies become major irritations, like that annoying habit of sleeping with other people. A study found that men perform better on memory tests if they first take a look at a picture of an attractive woman. Of course, their memories go back to being lousy if their wives ask them what they were looking at. Scientists say that nearsightedness is increasing as kids spend more time inside, watching YouTube videos of nearsighted people bumping into things. Scientists say that salt doesn't make you thirsty, it makes you hungry. That explains why I always need some pretzels to go with my pretzels. Well, Wally Amos, the creative mind behind the popular Famous Amos cookies, has passed away at the age of 88. The entrepreneur, known for revolutionizing the cookie industry with his delicious treats, died in his Honolulu home after battling complications from dementia.
Cookie!
Starting with a $25,000 loan, Wally built his cookie empire by using a cherished recipe from his aunt, focusing on quality ingredients over additives. His Famous Amos cookies quickly gained popularity, expanding from a single store in Los Angeles to a widely recognized brand found in grocery stores and vending machines nationwide. Despite financial challenges that led to selling his business in 1988, Wally's legacy lived on. He became a household name and even made appearances in popular TV shows like The Jeffersons and The Office. In a vulnerable and brave moment, Australian TV meteorologist Nate Byrne experienced a panic attack while delivering the weather live on his network's morning show.
Right through that part of the country, and we're going to see lots more rain in the days ahead. I'm actually going to need to stop for a second. some of you may know that I occasionally get affected by some panic attacks, and actually that's happening right now. Lisa, maybe I could hand back to you.
You certainly can, Nate. And Nate wrote a great piece on the ABC Online website about this, and I reckon we might re-up it because it's fantastic that he has been so open and transparent about it. And the response when he first wrote about it and spoke about it was that everyone said, oh, thank God, Nate's not perfect. We thought he was perfect, but actually he's now sharing something. So we'll put that up and you can get a little bit of an understanding of some of the things that go on with our brains and our bodies when we're doing live television.
The incident shed light on the reality of dealing with anxiety in the workplace and how to navigate such situations with grace and honesty. Going off the grid is good for the soul if you can survive the withdrawal symptoms. The study looked at the emotional roller coaster of digital detox vacations and found that when tourists were cut off from digital access on a trip, they first felt an initial anxiety, frustration, and withdrawal. But soon enough, they experienced growing levels of acceptance, even liberation. After their vacation, many participants found reconnecting overwhelming and upsetting as the flood of messages they've received while offline flooded their devices. Well, do you like pancakes, eggs, bacon, waffles, or Wheaties for dinner? You're not alone. Almost 70% of adults say they love breakfast for dinner. Yeah, not me. I can't do that. Breakfast is acceptable 1 a.m. to 11 a.m., and that's it.
Wow.
Now, the Indiana Fever is experiencing a season of remarkable growth, and rookie sensation Caitlin Clark is at the center of it all. The team's midseason report reveals an impressive surge in various aspects, including a staggering 1,193% increase in jersey sales and a 265% spike in attendance. The Fever have also seen a 740% rise in beer sales at games, with a 225% increase in partnerships, and has become the team with the highest number of sponsors in the league. And their social media following has exploded by 1.3 million new followers, marking them the most followed team in the WNBA. The Federal Trade Commission has taken a bold step in cracking down on deceptive online practices by outlawing fake endorsements. The new regulation aims to prevent businesses from purchasing fake reviews, silencing negative feedback, and engaging in other misleading review-related activities that could mislead customers. The new rules specifically target the creation and sale of fake reviews, including those generated by artificial intelligence or individuals who have not actually used the product or service they are endorsing. Businesses are now prohibited from using unfounded legal threats, physical intimidation, or offering incentives in exchange for positive reviews. While the company you keep can influence how much you eat, a study found that women eat more when they eat with a large group of female friends. However, if a woman eats with a smaller group of female friends, she eats less. And then when she dines with a man, she eats even less. Ladies, if you're looking for that man that's not afraid to do a little housework, marry a teacher. A study found that guys who work in fields typically dominated by females do 25% more housework compared to men who work in male-dominated industries. A whopping 45% of Americans have worn the same pair of underwear for 2 days or longer. Ew. 13% of people said they'd worn the same pair for a week or more. Men are 2 times more likely than women to wear their underwear for more than a week.
Gross and red.
And clothing manufacturers suggest you swap out your old underwear for a new pair every 6 months. At least 85% of respondents say they didn't know how long they've owned their oldest pair of intimates. Well, are you striking out on Tinder, huh? It's time to step up that emoji game. According to a study, people that regularly use emojis with potential dating partners have much higher success rates getting dates. A large survey asked people how often they use emojis, and in particular, how they use them with potential dates. Roughly 38% said they never do, 29% said hardly ever do, and 28% regularly use them. 3% use at least one in every text, and 2.5% use more than one in every text. The study found that the people who used emojis more often went on more dates. Well, however, there was no mention of what kind of emojis were being used. One could use your imagination, I guess. All right, here's a quick little quiz. Name the only planet U.S. astronauts have stepped foot on. Don't feel bad if you get it wrong because only 30% of Americans get it right. What's the answer? Earth. Hello? A recent study published by Nature Aging has shed light on the aging process, revealing that significant changes in molecular markers occur at ages 44 and 60. Researchers followed 108 volunteers for up to 7 years, analyzing samples ranging from blood to skin swabs. The study found that around ages 44 and 60, 81% of molecules showed significant fluctuations. At 44, changes in molecules associated with cardiovascular disease and metabolism were observed. These changes did not align with the expected slowdown in calorie burn, but indicated a shift in how the body processes substances like caffeine, alcohol, and lipids. By age 60, molecules related to immune regulation, carbohydrate metabolism, and kidney function underwent transformations. Similar patterns were seen in males and females. Although a potential third burst of changes at 78 was noted in previous research, this study did not explore it due to the age cap of 75 for participants. The global climate crisis is reaching an unprecedented levels as a record-breaking 15 national heat records have been shattered since the beginning of this year. Additionally, an astonishing 130 monthly national temperature records have been broken, along with thousands of local highs recorded from the Arctic to the South Pacific. The combination of man-made global heating and the gradual fade of the El Niño phenomenon has resulted in these alarming climate events. Despite the weakening of El Niño since February, the pace of record-breaking temperatures has not slowed down but rather accelerated. According to a recent study from the University of California, venting about your frustrations can actually make your friends like you more, but only if you do it right. The key takeaway from the study is that venting can be a form of competition for your friends' affections. By venting without being derogatory or aggressive towards others, you can potentially increase your likability and support from your friends. Well, there was no winner in the Mega Millions jackpot on Saturday night, so it now stands at $498 million. Your next drawing and chance to win is Tuesday, August 20th. This program is not sponsored by the Mega Millions jackpot or any other jackpot in any way. A man in Barcelona, Spain has solidified his place in history by amassing an impressive collection of 3,615 distinct cell phones, earning himself a Guinness World Record. His fascination with Nokia phones began in 1999 when he received a gray Nokia 3210 as a Christmas gift. Over the years, this man's collection grew, expanding beyond Nokia to encompass a variety of brands, making it the largest mobile phone collection globally. That dental practice in Knoxville, Tennessee, has confirmed it fired the employees seen on a viral video reading a patient's private diary aloud. Premier Dental Group came under intense public scrutiny after the video made the rounds on social media. The video is a recording of a Snapchat story that shows one of the dental group's female employees reading the journal filled with passages on the patient's thoughts and concerns about their cancer treatment plan, and two other staff members sit in and listen. Viewers can hear staff members snicker and chuckle at times during the reading. A spokesperson for the PDG confirmed to the New York Post that the female employees involved in the incident were indeed fired. A new analysis found that one of the gargantuan rocks at Stonehenge, the altar stone, a 16-foot, 16-ton slab of sandstone in the inner circle of the monument, was hauled from 500 miles away. The study published in Nature found that rather than the original belief that the stone came from nearby Wales, instead the rock was hauled down from northeastern Scotland. The manner of transportation for how the stone got there remains a mystery. Aliens. It was aliens. GE Appliances did a study and found that the average American's load of laundry sits wet, unattended, in the washing machine for 2 hours.
Oh, no.
This is based on an analysis of 13 million wash cycles across 90,000 homes over 2 years. GE is hoping this means Americans are ready for 2-in-1 machines, which are popular in Europe.
Ooh.
The newest versions of these washer-dryer in-one machines are about the same size of a single washer or dryer and cost about $2,000. Louis Jean Signor, a remarkable 112-year-old woman from New York City, has shared her secrets to a long and healthy life. Born to Italian immigrants in Harlem, Signor credits her longevity to her well-balanced diet and active lifestyle. She emphasizes the importance of incorporating salad, fruit, vegetables, and wine into her daily meals since childhood. The oldest living American is Elizabeth Francis, who lives in Houston and turned 115 on July 25th. The oldest living person on Earth is Spain's Maria Brañas, who is 117 years old.
This is amazing.
Recent research has reignited the debate over what caused the mass extinction of the dinosaurs over 66 million years ago. While the Harvard study proposed a comet as the culprit, a new international team of scientists has reaffirmed the original theory. An asteroid did the deed. The prevailing Alvarez hypothesis was proposed in 1980. Lori Miggins caused a stir by spending the night in her daughter Taylor's college dorm room at Appalachian State University. The devoted mom shared their cozy slumber party on Instagram, receiving both praise and criticism. While some admire the special bond between Mom Lori, who's 48, and Taylor, others labeled Lori as a creepy and helicopter mom. Despite the mixed reactions, Lori defended her decision, calling it a unique opportunity to share a moment with her daughter before her official college experience began. All right, we'll take a look at the wacky side of news. Animal researchers in British Columbia recently came to the aid of a stranded feline that was perched atop a 30-foot power pole for over 24 hours. The Okanagan Humane Society received a call from a concerned resident who spotted the cat in a precarious position at the top of the pole. Volunteers reached out to the power company for assistance. Without hesitation, the power workers sprang into action and used a bucket truck to help reach the stranded stray. A man was arrested by police in Honduras after he was caught begging while dressed up as a pregnant woman. The man told cops he was begging as a pregnant woman for 2 years and got 3 times as much money as he did when he begged dressed as a man. A German truck driver lost control of his vehicle while trying to swat at a wasp and spilled a load of jam jars on the highway. Police had to close the road for 2 hours while they cleaned up the mess. In China, a man kidnapped a woman because she owed him money. The woman's boyfriend called police, who tracked down the woman and her kidnapper and discovered the pair decided to get married. But then the woman left her kidnapper husband and went back to her boyfriend. It's not usual for a driver charged with drunken driving to be released into the custody of her mother, nor is it usual for an accused driver to be 13 years old. Now, police in the UK say an officer making a traffic stop found the intoxicated teen behind the wheel, and a few of her friends were along for the ride. She took her mom's car without permission. At 13, oh boy. In a startling display of frustration and aggression, a woman caused a scene at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport by hurling a computer monitor at Frontier Airlines staff. The incident began when the woman who had missed her flight attempted to board, only to be refused by employees, ultimately losing her temperature. Video captured by another traveler shows the woman climbing over a baggage conveyor belt, yelling at a Frontier employee and physically grabbing them. After being pushed back, she picks up a computer monitor and throws it at the staff, striking one of them before tossing a second monitor to the ground. Evan Sims of Rhode Island said the word he used while flying home on a flight from Orlando was calm. Passengers disagreed and said he clearly said bomb. Sims's repeated disturbances and escalating behavior led the pilot to declare an emergency and land in Jacksonville, Florida. When interviewed by the FBI, Sims admitted he made jokes about the plane going down. He also said his fiancée and flight companion had just broken up with him and he didn't want to go home anymore. And he admitted he overdrank at the airport bar. He eventually pleaded guilty to making a false bomb threat and spent some time in jail while awaiting trial. Jennifer Denise Holmes has been charged with a crime after siphoning gasoline from a U-Haul truck in Oregon. After reviewing security camera footage, police alleged that while draining the gas, Holmes lit a cigarette, which ignited the fumes and destroyed the U-Haul. When the truck's driveline burned, the truck started rolling and the fire spread to another truck. Holmes has been charged with second-degree arson, among other things. Waymo driverless cars are coming alive at night, honking at each other at a parking lot in San Francisco where they sit when not in use. Okay, Skynet, your move. Famous pretzel shop Auntie Anne's is debuting its first perfume, Neat, inspired by the brand's signature aroma. Auntie Anne's hints at the possibility of other products like air fresheners or a candle. Yeah, like the store that inspired it. This one will smell like a dying 1980s shopping mall. Well, last week, back in 1858, Queen Victoria sent the first transatlantic telegram to U.S. President James Buchanan through the recently completed transatlantic cable. The cable was created to provide faster communication between America and Europe. Yeah, she said, "I'm calling you about your car insurance warranty." Well, on Friday's date in 1870, the Weather Bureau, now the National Weather Service, was founded. The Weather Bureau's purpose was to provide timely and accurate weather forecastings and warnings. Yep, still waiting on those accurate weather forecasts.
Today's weather sucks.
Well, more than 3,200 new words and phrases have been added to the Cambridge Dictionary this year. Yeah, the number one new phrase is WTH is Cambridge. Well, Scrabble has included modern slang such as sitch and newbie to its dictionary, adding almost 2,000 new words. Yeah, that's still not as many as my young nephew increased his vocabulary by after his father stood on a Lego brick in bare feet. Well, Spain has opened a probe into a Katy Perry video that was shot in protected sand dunes. The singer remains tight-lipped as she forgot to apply sunscreen before filming. Paramount closes TV studio, causing panic. I have a friend out in Hollywood. He has a car payment, a house payment, a wife and a girlfriend, and they're all late. Oh boy. Well, the U.S. Olympic medal count was the most lopsided since the 1940 Games in France, when the Germans took all the gold and silver. Marine biologists are working to determine the cause of death for a 51-foot whale that washed ashore in Los Angeles. The Marine Mammal Center said the whale was in poor health due to bumps on its skin. It's so sad. Beverly Hills doctors were too late to perform emergency liposuction. The CDC is warning of a multi-state salmonella outbreak linked to cucumbers. In past years, health-conscious women followed doctors' advice and enjoyed a cucumber every day. Yeah, but then they found out you're supposed to eat them. On this date, in 1960, the Soviet Union launched two dogs named Belka and Strelka aboard the spacecraft Sputnik 5. They successfully returned to Earth, making them the first living creatures to orbit the Earth and return alive. Clearly, their spacecraft wasn't built by Boeing. In 2005, Courtney Love admitted to a judge that she violated the terms of her probation and admitted she used drugs. Yeah, it was the first time a judge ever uttered the words, well, duh. A British man faked his death to get out of his wedding. Damn, and it worked. What a reprehensible scoundrel. Love you, honey. John Dillinger, notorious American gangster, was once a promising semi-pro baseball player. Yeah, just imagine American crime could have been rewritten had he not been caught trying to steal second. Yeah, there's a new app that can send a message to break up with your significant other. Yeah, make sure to download it at taylorswift.com. 1 in 6 people say they create social media accounts for their pet. Yeah, they were responding to the question, how do you let others know you're sad and lonely? Well, we mentioned Bill Clinton's birthday is today. He plans on having a nice romantic dinner, that is, unless Hillary wants to do something with him. The Go-Go's Belinda Carlisle turned 66 on Saturday. Not only does she still got the beat, she's also got some hot flashes. And, it was revealed that Matthew Perry, street dealer, charged him $2,000 for $12 worth of ketamine. Yeah, the dealer's name is Big Pharma. The New York Daily News reports a porn star plans to start a college for aspiring porn actors and actresses. Yeah, they'll play in the same conference as Morehead State. And let's look at the horrible scopes for today. If today is your birthday, you are a Leo. There's a lot of sweet delights in the air today, especially if a trip to the sweet shop is in the offing. And if not, well, it might not be quite so true. Being mean is what makes bullies happy. Don't make them have to be unhappy. Imagine what the mean-spirited little twats would do then. The accuracy of any horoscope today will be directly related to the number of things you do today. A skydiving accident may befall you if you go skydiving. Alternately, it may not. The chances are that staying at home and doing the same things as every other day will not harm your chances of having a good day. You must be cautious to ensure that you can make a quick getaway should unexpected events occur. Virgo, whilst you may think that this horrible scope is completely useless, I have to admit, I have a very guilty secret. You see, all horrible scopes are completely useless. There, I said it. Now, Mrs. McGinty, who taught me everything I know, will rue the day she said I couldn't make it as an astrologer. Curse you, Mrs. McGinty. Don't be a player hater. No, we don't know what that means either. Good luck is not what you need right now. You can do with the services of a made-up superhero called Miracle Boy. Whether you want to or not, this week we'll have a journey in store for you. Libra, banning people from your house can work, especially if reinformed with large, heavy blocks of swingable wood. Test yourself today, let go of your fears, and grasp the nettle with both hands. There are always good reasons to ask fellow humans to step outside or inside. You may be forced to do this over the coming week. Scorpio, when things are looking down, sit yourself down on the nearest swiveling chair and spin. If that doesn't raise a smile, then I'm all out of ideas. Gurning championships are no place for someone like you, and yet you'll be tempted to find out not only what they are in detail, but where they take place. Entry fees and who's in your family has a talent for gurning. In other news, scientists have found out that when the wind changes, your face doesn't get locked in its current position. This knowledge may serve you well. Tax will start to upset you this week as recriminations begin. Sagittarius, the day is as long as the night. ODBC error 1305. Horoscope cannot be created for someone as stupid as you. Fly in the face of conventional wisdom and wear a policeman's helmet sellotaped over your genitals. Check your email daily because you never know what may arrive. Capricorn, the government will not allow you to do what you want. Drunken idiots are usually a good way of entertaining yourself whilst you're waiting for public transportation. The medical degrees you claim you possess were not worth the $70,000 you paid for them through PayPal. Aquarius, any spikes that you see in your power usage may be due to unforeseen and deadly circumstances. Everything will suddenly sound good to you today. This may be due to an appointment you have early this week, or it may be become love has just entered your life in the form of someone floating down a river in a large plastic swamp-type boat. Or it may just be because you've won a serious amount of money and people want to shower you with platitudes. Speaking of which, you do look amazing today. Money makes the world go round, only in a metaphorical sense. Now that you understand that, try not to embarrass yourself in front of others by declaring that other metaphorical phrases are indeed based on science and physics. Shout, shout, let it all out. A rhyming message, which can really help you out today. Pisces, when walking down the street, trying not to step on the cracks in the stone, you must take care to avoid all steaming piles. Regret can hurt you over a long period. Lament today, but tomorrow must be a day for anger and retribution. In the land that time forgot, everyone had a hard time. Aries, there may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, the blow caused by the venereal disease you are about to become infected with will be somewhat softened. Wednesday will be a good day for you this month, but which Wednesday in particular is up to you. Your daily rituals are what keep you going. Avoid the temptation to change your ways, lest you become half the person you are today. Taurus, it can be scary, sad, and lonely. Are you sure you want to go ahead with your plans? Terrible news is headed your way. The best way to save your sanity is by implicating as many people as possible in your demise. If you feel happy today, try to create something that reflects that happiness. Gemini, I give you permission to do what you want to today. Homeopathic treatments are not generally carried out by psychopathic people. I'm not entirely sure you know that the pathetic part of those two words doesn't mean that they're related. If you want to ride your bicycle, then by all means do it, but I refuse to be held responsible for any consequences. I'm always pretending to be a cat. Make sure you have a special getaway persona that you can adopt at any given moment. Then Cancer Moonchild, your greatest fears are about to be supplanted today by a new incredible horror. Go with that animal instinct. You're Tony the Tiger, and you're great! This morning will be full of fun and sunshine. Money is literally no object for you this week as you lose all your money. And those are your official DaWack in the Morning Horrible Scopes. And remember,
don't leave home without them.
And that does it for your Monday show. You've been listening to the Always First, Never Last podcast with me, your doomsday host, Mr. Zack Wackalina. Be sure to connect with me at ZackDaWack.com. That's ZackDaWack.com. Or call 984-DaWack1. That's 984-329-2251. Well, subscribe to the show, give me 5 stars, please, and share the show with someone you love. Thank you for listening. I'm out of here like Vladimir. Until next time, and there will be a next time. Don't forget us. We won't forget you. I'm Zack the Wack saying if I'm lying, I'm dying. Grits and groceries, eggs and poultry. And Mona Lisa was a man. I'll be back Friday. Same Wack time, same Wack channel. Wack out.
And we honor most major credit cards. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Don't forget to subscribe.
I would say that's kooky.
Bye, buckaroos.
This is the sound of the morning. This is where you should be.